Starting out, beginning creator like me, I'm afraid we might be getting some bad advice. Now, I don't want to pretend I'm a guru, but I hear this term, personal branding, just thrown around. Build a personal brand and start your channel, create a YouTube, and just name it after yourself. It's like thrown in there just so casually. Just name it after yourself. And on the surface, this sounds like a great idea. But there's two things in my head that just keep telling me, whoa, hold on for a minute. Let's think this through. So, first up, my name is Scott Alexander. That's pretty generic. In my generation, about one out of every 7 boys born in the 70s was named Scott. And Alexander, that's, I think, I don't know, the top 10 most common last names. There's probably 500 people with my name. I'm never going to get the domain name. I'm never going to get the handles in social media. And there's always going to be the other Scott Alexander in the world. Now, this is easy if you're somebody like Gary Vaynerchuk. I'm not sure he has a whole lot of competition for his name. Or Ali Abdaal. Okay, probably not a lot, but maybe a few. So uniqueness is definitely an issue. Most people have a name that is not unique. But the other problem that I'm afraid of, and I see this as a much more serious issue. When you name your channel and your brand after yourself, you are the brand. Now, back up 10 years, and people thought this was a great thing because they were building an identity to be known, to get hired for jobs. They were basically building like a resume as a personal brand. But now we've moved on to this era where people are building full-on businesses, huge businesses, multi-million-dollar businesses. And the problem comes when you have a business that's named after a person, that business is no longer a sellable product. Now, you're like, whoa, I don't know that I'm ever going to sell my name or my business. You're thinking like in the future. And you're right. I'm thinking in the future. Right now, I have like 10 followers. And I'm like considering my name that I want on my channel. And the question crosses my mind, but what if in 10 years I have a business selling some product, I have millions of followers, and it's tied to me, and I change my life plan? What do I do? You think that this ain't going to happen to you. But let's look at some examples. Let's take one of the more famous people struggling with this right now, Dave Ramsey. Dave Ramsey built a brand based on his name. He created a radio show. He sold books. He had courses. Everything was branded Dave Ramsey. And he's been doing this for 2 decades. And then something changed. He got old. My guess is at this point, he wants to retire. He wants to move on with his life. He wants to give his company to his kids or something else. But the name of everything is Dave Ramsey. If you listen to a show named Dave Ramsey and you turn on the radio one day and Dave Ramsey's not there, something don't line up. You can't just sell it. So if any of you listen to Dave Ramsey, he's been on this path for a few years now. He is working hard to change the name. He's rebranded almost everything as Ramsey Solutions. He's been bringing in extra personalities, first as guests, and now they're slowly taking over more of the show. But this is a long struggle for years. And it was kind of like he painted himself into a corner, tied to a name, and then has to spend years and millions of dollars to correct this. Now, I can't guarantee that everybody wants to do that. Maybe some people don't. So let's take Ali Abdal. I'm in the Part-Time YouTuber Academy. And one of his very first lessons about creating a YouTube channel, he just throws it out there. Start with your name. It's a perfect place to start. Scott Alexander, create your channel. And he did that. Ali did that. His channel handles Ali Abdal. It's unique. It's him. The question is he going to want to be the face of his brand in 10 years? I don't know. Because he has been doing this channel full-time actively for 6 or 7 years. Well, before he did this actively full-time for 6 or 7 years, he was a doctor. He went to medical school for 8 years. He thought for 8 years he wanted to be a full-time doctor. This was his plan. He did not envision in the future wanting to become a YouTuber. So now I look at it, he's only 6 years into this. Is there a chance he's going to want to change? Maybe. Maybe he wants to spend all of his time with his kids. Maybe it grows too big and he's stressed and doesn't want to manage it and just wants to cash out. Maybe he gets old and wants to retire in 25 years. There's a lot of potential ends to his path, but all of them are made harder if his business is his identity. You can't separate them. So I'm torn. I don't know what to do with my name. Right now, I am definitely leaning towards another name. I'm leaning towards a name, Hyperdriven. It's not my name, and it's kind of ambiguous. Now, this ambiguous part is important because this brings us into the next naming problem, limiting your potential. I'm going to give you a couple quick examples of this. Very famously, recent, Dunkin' Donuts. Everybody knows it as Dunkin' Donuts. But you know it's not Dunkin' Donuts anymore? They actually spent millions and millions of dollars to change the name to Dunkin'. Why do they do this? Because they don't want to be limited to donuts. And it's costly. Or have you noticed when you go down the street and you see a Pizza Hut, and you got the Pizza Hut sign up there, and underneath they got that little thing in the corner now or on the bottom that says Wing Street. They painted themselves into a pizza corner and then thought, maybe I need to expand my menu. I need to add wings. But they're limited by their name. Take something generic like Amazon or Microsoft. They can do whatever they want. There is no limits. And I have experience with this one. I own sexswing.com. Weird business for another video. But the key is, what else can I possibly sell? My name for 15 years is built around a single product. My domain name, my marketing, my social, everything is built around a single product. How do I add another product? I've built myself into a corner. You probably don't want to do that. You want to pick a generic name. This is my recommendation. Obviously, everyone's different. But I am going to pick a generic name, probably Hyperdriven. It can be used for a lot of different things. It is not me. I can still be Hyperdriven, founded by Scott Alexander. I can still be the face of my brand. But I can bring in guests to come and talk if I want. Like Think Media, big YouTube channel. They bring in somebody else. If you are the face of your brand, you will be known. You all know Jeff Bezos, right? You all know Mark Zuckerberg. They did not name their company after them. That was not a requirement to be known. They are still the face of the company. If you are early in this creative path, if you are early in creating a personal brand, do not just take the name decision as a throwaway. Do not just say, okay, I'm going to use my name and just cast it off as a 2-second decision. This is a decision. that feels very small right now. But if you have any success, and we should all be aiming for success, down the road is going to become a massive, massive part of your business. It's going to dictate what you can do in your future. So choose wise. It is not an easy decision. Think about your name.